Hey, this is Rob Anspach, and welcome back to another E-Heroes edition. Today I have the amazing Heather Havenwood. And, for all you guys who have been following me, Heather hasn't been on an episode for like 2 years. She appeared in episode 15, so you got to go back and watch it. But we're going to catch up with Heather right now and learn what she's doing and how you guys can benefit right now. So welcome.
Woo-hoo!
That's it. That's the show.
That's it. And we're done. Hey, so nice to meet everyone, all the new followers. When I did episode 15, there was not one follower, maybe his mother or something like that.
No, not even my mom.
Now it's like his wife and his mother. So there we go. Maybe his kid listens. Who knows?
Yeah.
I have this really cool mic that I can do this to.
Yeah, that's new too.
I didn't have the cool studio this way. I have my big
in
orange screen.
In all those years, you've done some amazing things. I don't know if the listeners know this, but she is now Miss Elite Texas.
I am with the wave.
With the wave.
Yeah, Miss Elite Texas Women of Achievement 2020. And yes, there was a whole pageant and everything. Like, it was a big deal. You saw all the pictures on Facebook if you were following me. People were like, really? So, oh my God, I just may or may not have my crown right here. Oh, of course, I have oops, I had to do that. My crown right here. Of course, I forgot my crown. Of course, I have my crown. I forgot. Okay, that even makes it better.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
And then you have to wear the sash when you go in the airports. And
I do. I wear the sash in the airports. It's pretty much 90% of the time. Sometimes I forget it. I don't want to deal with the drama. Sometimes I get these really weird looks, especially with the mask nowadays. I get these like really weird looks, but most of the flight attendants are super cool. They're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Or when I've gone to Phoenix a couple times during the pandemic. I've traveled up in the pandemic. I've been to West Palm Vale, Vegas, and Phoenix 3 times during the quote unquote pandemic times. And I got off the flight or the plane in Phoenix, and there was a crew of cleaners like waiting to get on. And they're like, oh, welcome to Phoenix, Miss Texas. You like say that. So for some reason, Phoenix is really nice about it. Vegas did not care. People in Colorado thought it was fascinating. Florida didn't give a shit. So Texas. When I was in Houston, Texas, I was traveling through in Houston. I was in the airport for like 3 hours. I had people like, "Is that shit for real?" And I'm like, "Yes." It's fun.
I'm gonna get one that says Mr. Grumpy.
Yeah, no shit. You'd be like Mr. Grumpy. So yeah, people always ask me about the Woman of Achievement and why I did it. People who know me in marketing are like, "Why did you do that? Makes no sense." Here's what I say to that. Because I was asked to do it, and I'm a competitor by nature. And so the fact that I was asked to do it, and then it was one of those things like, you don't do it just to do it because I don't want to just do pageantry. That's annoying. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to win. So then I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to do it. And as soon as I did, I'm like, okay, what is it going to take to win this damn thing? You know what I mean? I was like, what's the thing? How do I win? I got super competitive to a point where I was like pissed off at my roommate, because she got something that I didn't. Like, well, now she got 3 more points than I do, and now she's gonna win. It was really fun. Like, she's like, you are so like, when I get into competitive mode, I'm like, girlfriend, I will pull that hair. And girls are super competitive.
And the funny thing is that whenever you set your sight on something, you go after it full force. I mean, when we talked about this 2 years ago, it was the whole get out of your comfort zone. You were studying to be a comedian.
Yeah.
And I mean, you crushed it. You're crushing this, but it's that full bore, take no prisoners attitude that you just keep on doing things. And I like that about you, because, you look at all the other entrepreneurs out there and they talk shit, but you're actually doing shit.
Yeah. I got kicked out of a coaching group recently because of that. So I didn't realize that this particular mentor that I got involved with for about 3 weeks, because what he does, he pulls people in and then he just kind of like loves on them and they don't do anything. So they stay with him until they figure out that he's not doing anything. And then they all leave. About 3 or 4 months is the average. I like went in day one, like, well, I'm paying you. We're going in. You said checklist. And he's like, so he says to me, quote, I don't think you're good enough to be part of our group. And I'm like, I'm the one like busting ass, like doing everything you want us to do within like 2 weeks. And then I find out through other ex people, they're like, oh, that's because you're not really good part of the group because you're actually doing the work. Like everyone, if you notice, is like lackadaisical and they figure out he's not doing his part till like 3 months in. They've all spent this freaking money. And so it's hard for them to leave because they're like, well, maybe there's one more month and then they'll get us some shit. And I'm over here like, and I'm like, you ain't doing your shit. I'm out, So I am like that when I'm like a dog on a bone. Sometimes though I have a hard time I wait too long to and then I go really fast. But majority, it's funny. A lot of people don't like that about me because when I do that, they're like, whoa, you're too much. I'm like, get the fuck out of the way then. If I'm too much, I'm an entrepreneur. If I don't produce, I don't eat.
Yeah.
So move out of the way. It's fascinating though, because during this quote unquote time, I'll call it the P time. I've been working a lot. I've been focused. It's been challenging to focus just because everyone's so loud. I've been do a lot of affirmations. I do a lot of personal work in the morning. I do a lot of mindset in the morning because honestly, if you don't, it's easy to get sidetracked, especially on social media. It's easy to get go left field or right field or center field. And it's been challenging to keep that energy focused for this time. Really, it really has. I'm not gonna lie.
COVID has really, I think, affected a lot of mindsets out there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It affected me. I'm one of these people that, when I want to go outside and I want to do something, I expect somebody to be open so I can go enjoy the restaurant or the theater. Nothing's open.
Art show, whatever.
Or I got to wear a mask, or I got to do this, or I got to do. I don't want to jump through hoops to go use your service.
All right. Well, don't come to Austin then, because you'll be doing way more than hoops, honey. Going to the gym right now, you have to walk in with the mask. You have to work out with the mask, even if you're on a treadmill. I did the other day. I was on a stair step, and I'm sweating through the mask. It was disgusting. I was like, this is insane. So I think that's one of the things I was saying today. One of my groups, it was like, it takes something to do anything right now. To go to the gym, to go to a coffee shop, to go do something. It takes a different mentality. You have to be willing to go. When I get there, you're not sure how it's going to go. You got to wear things that you don't want to wear just to get the service that you feel you want right now. Like I go to a smoothie shop all the time. It's this cute little place called the Daily Juice. Everyone loves it in Austin. It's called the Weird Austin kind of juice blend. The guy who started it is from Austin, all that. So, but now you're not allowed to go in the store. Everything's outside. And one location, they have it pretty right. They installed like a sliding glass little door, like a drive. So one location, they've got it figured out. They're like, we got this figured out. But this other location that was in the burbs, all they have is a regular door. And so the girl who works there is underneath this bar, and you can come up near the door and she has to open the door. Okay, what do you want? Okay, well, all right. Over there is the credit card. Yeah, you guys do way over there. Okay, all right, it's ready for you. And she has to keep opening the door. This is her whole job, is to open a glass door every 2 minutes. So every time she talks, she has to do this. Like, can you imagine? I'm just like, this is insane. I must really want this smoothie right now, And so, and there's no system. Like we're all there's 5 of us sitting outside. I'm like, is there a number system? They're like, no, I guess they call your name. Like, I don't remember giving them a name. It's just you just have to really take something to do basic shit at the moment. So being an entrepreneur is 10 times. You're just like, oh my God,
Well, I'm looking at your backdrop, and you got a new setup, and it looks amazing. But it says high visibility, high income.
Yes.
And now, how can we do that? If we got this COVID thing all around us, and people are acting like assholes.
You have to ignore the assholes. Step 1, ignore assholes. I should do a post on that today. Step 1, ignore assholes. Step 2, leave Facebook. Step 3, you know. Honestly, you got to do this a lot. You got to put out a lot of content. You got to just be like this. You got to really just focus. You can't listen. It used to be listen to the market. Like, can't do that right now. You can't, you got to watch trends, but you can't listen to the market. If that makes sense. I watch trends, not listen to the market anymore. Right. So I watch what's happening with different business models all the time. I'm watching how people are buying differently. That I am watching. But I don't listen as much from a perspective of, because it's just so dramatic. There's only a few places I get my information. You know, you have to be really, really, really kind of segmented. Even like Entrepreneur Magazine, which I'm a subscriber. I can't stand them right now. Like when I get them and I'm like, this is all bullshit. They're like, entrepreneurs, we need you now. You're like, oh, bullshit, you know? So they're trying to sell magazines at the end of the day, and they're trying to sell franchises. I mean, Entrepreneur Magazine, let's be clear, the business model is magazine to franchise. They are run by, you know, the franchise national organization, because their whole job is to sell the dream of buying a business and get a franchise. Well, you know, a lot of the businesses in today, I don't have to get into it, but a lot of businesses are being destroyed right now, literally blown up in certain cities. It is not fun. It's not a good thing to go put out. Do you want to be a small business owner with a franchise at the moment? They're getting their butts kicked, right? So yeah, go buy a franchise as a physical location or retail location. Can you imagine trying to sell that right now? Holy crap. They'd be like, F you. I mean, there's no incentive right now. Restaurants are being, you know. So I think that's one of the challenges. You have to just kind of like, la, 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 you know, and just be really focused. But what I talk about with this is, how do you create omnipresent content? How do you create content consistently over time? I have a structure that is 52 podcasts for the year, one a week, 60 minutes, structured in a certain way where you omnipresent it. And at the end of 1 year, if done right, you have 12,000 pieces of content that you can be consistently all over the place. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's what I focus on.
Well, that's amazing, because, you know, I always tell people you have to recycle your content, but you've taken it to a point where, you know, you've taken 52 pieces and turned it into 12,000. I
right.
mean, that's just exponential.
I need to do another video on that. Yeah, it's called the Podcast Shift Segment and Syndicate. So first of all, it's a shift of mindset. It's the first piece. You have to understand what's happening in the marketplace. There's 2 ways to market: organic or paid, period. That's it. Organic or paid, organic or paid, organic or paid. No matter if they're buying a book from you or listen to a podcast like now, it doesn't matter. Is it organic or it's a paid media source? That's it. There's only 2 ways to market now. So you have to pick your poison necessarily, right? And how do you do that? Book is one way to repurpose, but nowadays with podcast and video, you can do it in such a way where it's consistently hooking people back into, organically, like a hook, like a fishing hook, whoosh, into your groups, pages, and offers, right? So that's what people want. They want people in their offers. They want people in their funnels. They want people in their lists, right? So how do you do that? Well, I've figured it out after doing 450 interviews as a podcast. It's 451, I guess. And then, you know, myself producing over 200 plus, I've lost count, of podcasts, is how do you take that content and repurpose it in a way specifically where you have content, 12,000 pieces that are out there all the time, like little particles, like pulling people back in. So that's called the Podcast Shift. I'm also creating the Syndicated Academy, all in the coordination to create the influencer tribe. It's what I'm really creating. My big why is to have high level influencers come together and connect. And it's going to be my $25,000 program that it really is designed for influencers and content creators around the world, around the globe, to come together and support each other and rise each other up right now.
Yeah, I just took one of my clients and basically 52 episodes of his podcast, and we transcribed it and turned it into his new book.
Right.
And, you know, because there's a lot of people out there that still don't listen to podcasts. I don't know why, but they prefer a book.
Yeah, they're
and so he's just handing the book out, and people love it because it's just another reference that they can turn to and makes him the authority.
Yeah, and you know this, I do repurposing of my book, and we did a book together. And it was pretty much a repurpose of you and I talking. There it is right there. Power casting. We should have my face on it. It would sell more.
I know. It's
We
in the
should.
back. Face is in the back.
Yeah, we should totally change it so that my face is on the front, your face is on the back. It would sell way more.
Yeah, because people like my face on the back.
For sure. For sure. We should put me on the front with the crown. Just kidding. Yeah, so that's repurposing and stuff like that. So
the Power Guesting 2.
Guesting 2.
Yeah, although I think we'd change the title. Because, I like the title of your new academy. I think that's kind of cool.
Which one?
Podcast Shift Syndicated Academy. It's a long title, but I think it tells people exactly what it is.
Thank you. Well, there's different levels. So the Podcast Shift is just like the one day and then a webinar or whatever. And then the Syndicated Academy is like the actual product. So so that's what I'm doing. It tells you what it is. Turn your boring podcast into a lead money-making machine. So there's a lot of podcasters out there, as you know, that don't have a business on the back end. I'm not interested in working with them.
You're gone. All of you are gone.
Yeah. They're like, I just want to make an impact. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So that's great. Nothing wrong with that. Power on to you. But if you have a high ticket product on the back end, if you have a product at least $2,000 or $3,000 on the back end, maybe more, then it makes sense. How do you actually create this? How do you repurpose your book? In other places, how do you actually repurpose it where it's working for you? So that's really what, I do. The other cool thing that I'm working on, this is like the secret sauce that I'm doing, is I'm building out an entire channel. It's going to be basically an entrepreneur channel. It's called the Influencer Mastermind. I'm sorry, Influencer Masterclass. And it's all about, you've seen Masterclass with Hollywood, where they have all these different people teaching stuff. You've probably seen that. There's been a lot of ads for it. And there's other things like that. I'm creating a channel of entrepreneurs that are going to be teaching segments. Like one's going to be on a book for you. You should come and teach a 6-step series training on how to write your book. That would be great. One on Facebook advertising, on it goes. So that's what I'm creating. That's like the really cool stuff I'm like super excited about, so that is going to be super awesome. And that's going to be on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. So that I'm in the works of right now, and just excited to have that move forward.
And you have a new podcast that you're launching as well.
I am. That one is about teaching men how to date women, because for God's sake.
Yeah, we suck.
Yeah, you do. Now, here's where this came from, to be straight. Yeah, you guys suck. I'm just kidding. Is that as many, I have many books out of teaching men how to date women, like 4 books out. It has definitely hindered me from dating. Because people go on a date with me and they're like, what's this shit?
Lose the crown.
And I'm like, oh, losing the crown. So, yeah. And I've been in the dating pool for the last 4 years. I ended a relationship 4 years ago. And especially during the pandemic, it's been horrible. It's just, it's so effed up. I mean,
I like the sound effect.
It's effed up. I mean, it's just so. All right. So then I'm thinking, so for a while I thought, oh, it's just me. Fuck, I'm just an idiot with this stuff. And then here's what happened. True story. Pandemic hits, and I do something that I'm so glad I did. Within the first week, I'm talking like, I bought a Peloton. Saved me because I'm a workout freak. So I get this thing like 2 weeks in. They're now like 8. You can't get like 8 weeks. You can't even get them. So I get mine 2 weeks. So I thought it was a long time. Like, dude, 2 weeks now, like 8 weeks you can buy now. You get 8 weeks. So crazy. So I get it. And I heard from a marketing perspective how great Peloton was. Like, Peloton's amazing. I'm like, what's so great about the damn thing? It's a bike. Okay. It's a bike. Oh no. I didn't really realize how ridiculously great marketing company this company is. It is insane. The business model's fabulous. But here's what you don't know. What happens is once you get a Peloton, once you sign in, there's all these communities. Like, Pelotons for 40 plus, Pelotons Austin, Pelotons Orlando, Pelotons for people who have no kids, Pelotons for singles, Pelotons for lawyers, Pelotons for doctors. There's all these crazy groups, right? And then you have each instructor has their own group. So it goes on. So I get in this one called Peloton Singles Group. It's my favorite group to this day. So all these people in there, men and women, all around 30s or 40s, all during the pandemic, they're trying to date and they are sharing their stories in there. I thought I was having a bad luck. Oh no, this is a global pandemic issue with the dating. So I'm looking at all these crazy stories and people all upset and and I'm like, oh my God, how can I not make a podcast about this? This is just beautiful. So I'm relaunching, kind of going back into the space of how to get hot women, how to get real hot women, really geared towards men. Why? Because I'm a woman. How am I going to coach women? I'm not in a relationship. How can I tell another woman this is how you get a relationship? Oh, I don't have one. I mean, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But I can tell men what y'all doing wrong. I mean, all day long. You know what I mean? I can say, okay, this is where you fucked up. All right, this is where you need to do wrong. Okay. So why? Because I'm a hot woman and I get it. So I can tell you how women think. All right, that's what I can do. And so I'm doing that. I was looking for, as you know, a co-host and I got ghosted from my own potential co-host. He had booked that date with me for almost 2.5 weeks.
That bastard.
Yeah, crazy. So I thought the moment I did that, because I'm sitting there all dressed up, because guys don't understand, you have to get dressed up, put makeup on, all this crap just to do a video. And so here I am waiting and I'm texting him and stuff and he's ghosting me. So I was like, well, you saw the video. I'm pissed off. So I just pressed live. We're going in. Just like did a whole video about it. And yeah, so I have not found my co-host, yes, but I'm probably just going to move forward on it by myself. Yeah, I'll show you here, let's see it. You'll see it change in a second. See it back here. Hold on. All right, that's what it looks like.
Wow.
You see that? Hold on.
There's something Hot Women Now podcast or Getting Hot Women.
Yeah, I'll move it. I'll pan it up.
Yeah.
Woo. You see that now?
Get Real Hot Women Now podcast.
With my boobs hanging out. Because that's the key.
Oh,
that's going to attract men.
Yeah.
It's not really about what happens on the copy. It's more just the boobs.
Yeah, they don't care what's on the podcast. They
right,
just
the boobs. I'm gonna subscribe to the boobs. I get it. I get it. I got big boobs, so I'm good with that. But
I think his podcast went off the rails a long time ago.
It's marketing. What do men want? Boobs. Blonde hair, big boobs. Now they don't get me, but I am telling them, hey, if you listen to what I say, you might get someone as amazing as me. I mean, that's marketing. This is right in line with your podcast. This is marketing. I looked at what's the market going on. People are upset about this. They need help. I'm providing. That's
your
regular
hero in that department.
That's regular. I am a hero. Dude, there are men out there that are hurting. They're hurting. Yes. You know why? Because they have not been laid probably in months.
Yeah, or longer.
Or longer. I'm not talking about married men. That's y'all's own problem. But I can speak for single men. I can't help it, married men. I can't help married men who haven't been laid months. Like, I can't help you. I'm not.
That's a different podcast.
And it's not mine. I can't help you at all. Just stay away from the dating pool. That's all I can tell you.
You know what? And like I said, if you guys haven't listened to our episode 15 from 2 years ago.
Was I nice?
Yeah. I mean, you're crushing it today. I mean, the funny story, it's just, I just think that, everything that you do, you always share a story. You're always entertaining. And I don't understand why people stand you up.
I know. Well, okay, I gotta take a picture of me and then smile.
No,
I know, right? So
I don't smile.
why people stand me up? Okay, well, I don't know. He, when I reached out to him at the time, we had scheduled the time, a set scheduled time, and about 15 minutes prior, I texted because I didn't do it live. I didn't want to do it live. I texted him and go, "Hey, I'm gonna be a couple minutes late. I'm over on the other side of town, and are you good with that?" And he was like, "Oh, is this? Are you in my time?" I'm like, this is a scheduled time. I'm actually leaving an office just to go home to do them. What are you talking about? So I said some smart ass comment like, yeah, it's the time. Like what, and then I get home and I'm still texting him and I'm like, here's the link, the Zoom, and I'm getting my lights and my lights camera makeup on. And he's like, oh, my computer's not working. My computer. He's like, oh, I just got from the gym. I'm not dressed. I'm like, this has been scheduled for 2 weeks. Okay. I'm not going to be your mama about it. So anyway, he's doing his thing. And so then I'm up there. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting. Are you there? Hey, are you there? So I call him. It's all on Messenger. No answer. And then I get this message. Oh, my phone's not working. This is a person who lives on social media. I see this man. He will walk to the store and he'll be like, I'm going to the store, like way worse than me. And I'm like, okay, I just got ghosted by a guy to talk about dating. This is, you can't make this up. So I was like, oh, I got to press Facebook play. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth. He hasn't messaged me since, by the way. He's like, oh, my phone's not working. Really?
Yeah.
Like, wow. But I'm glad he just ghosted me. I'm glad, Rob, because everything happens for the best.
That's right.
I will be doing this by myself.
So you'll get all the hot women.
I'll get all the hot men. Just one big ad for me. I'm single. My address is. I'm kidding.
That's too far.
Yeah. Did you see the message I put on Facebook about my 4.5 minute date? You saw that one, right?
No, but I'm sure there's a story.
Yeah. I got 4.5.
4.5 minutes is way too long anyway.
I had a 4.5 minute date. You want me to tell you? Do we have time?
We have time.
Okay. So here's my 4.5 minute date. Shortest date I've ever had. I'm not saying shortest date in history, but definitely mine. Pandemic, a couple weeks ago. Meet this guy on Bumble. He tells me to meet him at the Town Lake. Now, Town Lake I live in Austin, so it's right on the trail. It's a walking trail, big walking trail. So it's a long walking trail. So you can have like 2 people standing next to each other talking, like girlfriends do a lot of 3 people, like, and then at the other side have people talk. Like it's really a wide space. So I'm like, well, that's a good date. And the worst that can happen is I get a run. You know what I mean? Like I get some exercise. So hell, I'll meet him. So I get there. It's down from my house, which is even better. He's late, but I'm not mad because I'm kind of like on a Zoom call. Like, okay, well, I'm kind of working too. So I was like, oh, well, screw it. I'll just sit in the car and do the Zoom call. So I wait and he shows up and whatever. He's got this cute dog, Murphy. Love Murphy. He was so cute. Now, I don't remember his name at all, but Murphy was adorable. I remember the guy's name. Saved my life has been erased from my memory, but Murphy's adorable. So cute, little lab, kind of hyper. And so we hello, we go to the trail. So we're walking. Now he's walking like really far in front of me, like that. And he's talking to me like, so like he's facing forward and I'm back here. He's like, hey, so where are you from? I'm like, I can't hear him. He's not looking back. He's like looking here and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, hello, I can't hear you. So I said, hey, do you mind stepping back so I could hear you? I can't hear you. Oh, sorry, Murphy pulls. Okay, Murphy. I'm like, Murphy pulls. Okay. And we were kind of in like a narrow part. So I was like, that's fine. So then we get to the trail and it's really, like I said, it's wide. So you could have two people staying next to each other and walking and have like plenty of room, right? So we start going and he starts doing it again. He's way up there. Not like here, like way up there. And he starts talking to me again, like, so, how long you been on Bumble? Or blah, 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 blah. He's not even really asking a question. He's just spewing to himself. And it looks like he's talking to himself because he's so far in front of me. It doesn't even look like I'm with him. And I'm like, what is this guy's deal? So as a good woman, I test him. That's what we do. We test you. So I thought, well, maybe he's doing this on purpose. Maybe he's not. I don't know. So I start slowing down. Because up until this point, I'm like doing this. And every time I get closer to him, he gets further. Like I can never catch him. So I thought, I'll just slow down and see if he sees, right? You can feel when someone doesn't. So I start slowing really down. Now he did slow down a little bit, but still enough to be like up there that I can't hear anything. And he's literally talking to himself about how he came from Tampa. And he's like literally talking to like the air with Murphy pulling. And I'm like, I'm not even in this conversation because I can't hear anything he's saying. So I thought to myself, oh, that's Alexa. So I thought, okay, I've tested him a couple times. I've run up to him, so I said, I'm going to say it one more time. I go, hey, do you mind pulling back? I feel like you're dominating me, right? Because I did. I feel like we were in the middle damn East, like the Middle East where the women stay behind, like you stay back there. I'm like, what are we? We're like in freaking Austin, Texas. This is BS, right? So the moment I said that, right, here's what happened. The moment I said that, I said, hey, can you come back here? Because I feel like you're dominating me. He does. You need freaking that. And I just turned. I literally did like an about face and it's over. Something about like, I need therapy because I wanted him so I could hear what he had to say. Even if because I thought at one point, this guy's a really not a good date, but at least I wanted to hear what he had to say. So can we at least walk for the 3 miles next to each other and it'll be done in like 20 minutes, So, but I didn't even get that far. I just did. I just like totally went the other way and it was over. And that was a 4.5 minute date. But then I always turn it around to business, and businesses, let your clients test you. They will test you. People will test you. Let them test you.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for that.
Right? I know you don't, but that's the lesson. If you listen to Heather, that's the lesson.
Well, there you go, people. So you want to get lessons? You want to get a healthy walk? Find Heather. So where can they find you?
HeatherHavenwood.com. I am moving, really.
You're moving. No one can find you.
I'm moving my websites and things like that right now. I have Influencer Tribe and things like that, but it's really HeatherHavenwood.com.
There you go. And see, hopefully it doesn't take another 2 years to get you back on the show because I like your stories.
Yeah, well, you can ask me.
I know. You're always busy.
I'm not for you. I put on like half a day's notice for you.
I know. I feel special.
You should feel special.
I know. I don't have a crown though. But
no, you're not a king.
No, more like a jester.
Yes. See? I should get you one of those jester hats. You probably have one.
No, I'd wear it proudly though.
You would wear it proudly. Well, thanks for having me on. Mwah. And grab our book, Matt Power Guesting.
Power Guesting, and it's on Amazon, and all the money goes to Heather to support her dating. Anyway, have a great time, everyone, and I'll see you on the next episode. Adios.